I'm here with my friend Puxatawny Phil. Just kidding. This is Phil though. And Phil is a great little dog, but a long time ago, someone pulled out a laser. And ever since then, he is fixated on this. And I have a similar problem with my dog. He caught a pelican once at a beach in Santa Monica. Now every bird he sees, he thinks he can catch. Same principle going on here. So I haven't turned this thing on since the session because I know it's going to cause him to be very intense. Now, what we want to do is I'm going to try to use the concept of counter conditioning. And unlike the people that you see who do this on TV, they've done it 10 times and then they come and film it the 11th time. They know what they're doing. I have no idea how he's going to react, so we'll see. What I'm going to do is I'm going to first get him used to chewing on one of these things. Now I have the Tricky Trainer soft chicken liver flavored treats, which he really likes. You see he's very attracted. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let him chew on it and get him used to chewing on it while I'm holding it. And what I'm doing is smashing it so he can chew little pieces of it off. This is kind of what we do for counter conditioning. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you this. If you could switch hands and hold the leash in this hand. And it's a green dot, and go ahead and put it somewhere where he can't see it so you just can see it's working, right? Okay. So what I'm going to do is I want to get him used to chewing on these treats first. What I'm going to have you do is the nice thing about this is you can see I can change his orientation by how I hold the treat. So what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you put it on the wall over there. We won't see the laser probably on the screen at first. We might get a little closer as we go. But don't do it until I do it. Now when you're doing counter conditioning, the key is a couple things. I always get people that write in from watching at home. They're like, your dog doesn't have to be sitting and doesn't have to be on leash for counter conditioning, which is true. I use these two things as my litmus test. If I put the treat here, the dog looks at the laser and doesn't show interest in this, the laser is too intense, i.e. in this case, too close. So we want to move the laser dot further and further away until he is able to focus on this. Also, if he gets up, he's in more of an I'm ready to take action position. So if he gets up, also the laser is too close. So we want to find out the minimum distance that your dog can be close to the object without reacting to it. This is what we call sub-threshold. It has to be under his reactive point. Once you've got the point where he's freaking out, all the work that you're doing is going to be invalid. So you have to find that distance first. So we haven't tried it, we're going to guess. But before you're doing the counter conditioning, you want to be delivering the treat first. Now I'm orientating him so he's looking over there. Go ahead and put it on the wall. Do you see how he froze for a second? Now turn it off. So he froze for a second when he saw it, but the treat was right here and the dot was way over there. So he thought about it, then he went back to chewing on it. All right, so we're gonna do that again. Now, when you're doing this, I come up with a code if I'm doing like this with usually I do this like with the doorbell. But, so as soon as you see me delivering the treat, that's when you put it, but make sure he's taking a bite first. Then you put it on the wall, and then when I tell you, that means it's about to be done, then take it off. So the key for counter conditioning is he sees the object while the treat is being delivered. The high value reinforcer doesn't always have to be a treat. It could be something else the dog really likes. But right before that is the treat or whatever the reinforcer is disappears, the stimulus, in this case the laser dot, needs to disappear. So he only sees it while he's having something else. This is what allows us to counter condition him. Let's do it again. Go ahead. Now, if you notice, I'm holding it kind of like with my hand like this. So these three fingers are underneath his chin. I don't want to obscure his view, but make sure he is looking at it. Okay. We're going to do it again, but now I want you to put it on the base. When you do it, you're going to put it on there, and then you're going to lower it so it's about 4 inches away on the carpet. So we're going to get it gradually closer to him. Sit. And there you go, right about there. All right. So if I say all right or okay, then we're ready to go. All right, so you're going to start off in the same position, then you're going to move about 4 inches closer once he starts chewing. Go ahead. There you go. And okay. All right. So we're going to start in that same spot that you just ended. Wait 1 sec. Get a little bit closer, about 4 inches. And okay. And we'll just keep on repeating that until we're putting it about right here. I don't think we're going to be able to get past about that line, but I could be wrong. We'll see. Go ahead. A little bit closer. All right. Go ahead. And a little bit closer. looking for it, but he's not as enticed, okay? There we go. That was, I swear, I did not practice this before, so let's turn it off. So basically about 2 feet is right now he can't tolerate it. Eventually we'll be able to get to the point where he can, now we're also not, you're moving it very gradually. Eventually you'll be doing like circles and dangerous stuff, but the first step is you're gonna move it until we can get it right here and he's able to still eat the treat without reacting to it. Then I would move it back there and start moving it maybe back and forth to kind of a different patterns so that we have the movement. Like I said earlier off camera, movement, dogs' eyes are much better for movement than they are for detail. Also, this is a green laser, which is easier for dogs to see. They have problems seeing like reds and oranges. So an infrared laser, some dogs can't even see. Now, just so that we have a little bit of a contrast here, let's do this. And go ahead and drop the leash. I should have shot this before so we'd have true before and after, but I didn't want to work him up. So this is more indicative of his normal behavior,
yes.
Correct? So there we go. Now, if you have a dog, not all dogs have this problem with the laser. If you have a dog that's interested in it but doesn't go bat crazy about it, you can use them. I've had people that actually stand on their outside deck and at nighttime are running their dogs in laps around their yard, but the dog is not manic going freaking out. If your dog freaks out, then this is probably not a healthy thing for them to use. But in some situations, some dogs, this is a great tool to actually exercise them. So this is basically how we can use counter conditioning to help a dog learn to stop reacting to reflections and lights.